My no buy year is over, and I really wanted to sit down and talk through how I found the last few months, how I found the year as a whole, in the hope to maybe inspire you if you've never done a no buy and you've been thinking it's something you'd like to do to rein in your shopping habits, or if you're currently on a no buy and you just need a little bit of motivation to get you to that end goal. Hopefully today's video will be helpful. Otherwise, hopefully it will just be entertaining and maybe keep you company while you're doing things around the house. I quite like to listen to videos like this, kind of as a podcast. So if you haven't been following my no-buy journey so far, on the 1st of October 2023, I decided, well, I kind of decided before that, but that was my start goal, was like, I am not going to shop for a year. Not going to buy any new clothes, not going to buy any new shoes, not going to buy any secondhand either. So when I say new, I don't just mean new, brand new, but also new to me. This was something I had debated about for ages. I wanted to do a no-buy year for so long, and I had seen other people do it, and I was like, oh, I really don't think I could. I feel like that's too much. And as we get into the video, let's just say I didn't not shop 100% for 365 days. There were a few little slip-ups, but I didn't let that knock me back. I still kept going. So although I wouldn't say I did it 100%, I'm going to give myself like an 85 to 90% result here, which if I was a student and that was my grade, I'd be pretty happy with that. So first off the bat, if you are not doing your no-buy 100%, that's okay. I didn't either. We're all human. We all slip up and make mistakes. Some people are really good at setting goals and sticking to them. And for those people, I would probably say that maybe they're not the kind of people who end up doing a no-buy because they're just quite disciplined anyway. They're disciplined with their money. They're disciplined with what goes in and out of their wardrobes, or whatever area of their life that they're not shopping in or balancing their shopping habits in. But if you are like me and you lack a little bit of self-discipline sometimes, you don't always have so much trust in yourself, and like when you say you're going to do something and you do it, that's definitely me, and it's something I'm working on. But I think what has helped is to do my no-buy year, however imperfectly I did it, and at least I can say I did it, I didn't give up, I didn't just buy something and then go, well, that's the year messed up, so I'm going to stop and I'm just going to go back to shopping. I stayed with it, and I think that has really ingrained in my brain really good habits. So even now that I'm allowed to shop, I kind of don't want to. I definitely overthink every purchase, which is great. I want to overthink every purchase because what we spend our money on is important, and what we add to our wardrobes is important, and what we bring into our homes should be important, and it should have good energy, and it should be intentional, and it shouldn't just take up space and add to the clutter. So I'm very happy that I'm overthinking all my purchases now, and I feel like I've kind of built up that habit from taking a break from shopping for so long. It's just an automatic reaction now. If I go to buy something, or if I see something, chances are I'll be like, oh, I don't need it, I'm not shopping. And then I'm like, oh wait, well I am shopping, but do I really need it? No. Or maybe I might convince myself that I do, and that's fine too. This was never about giving up shopping for good, because that's unrealistic. If you're here, you probably like to shop, even if you're trying to cut back a little. We love fashion, we love our clothes, we love creating outfits and expressing ourselves through our clothes. And part of that is the issue, is kind of like that self-expression. Sometimes when we don't have that solid self-esteem and sense of self within us, we reach for clothing as a way to express it on the outside instead of doing the inner work. So I think that's a bit of a balance between doing the inner work and really knowing yourself, and then also enjoying expressing that self to the outside world. A lot of the times we don't do the inner work. We'll just buy some new clothes and hope that that brings us a new version of ourselves. It's like, well, if I'm dressing as this new version of myself, then I must be them, which in some cases can kind of lead to that fantasy self. We're buying clothes for a certain job that we wish we had, or a certain lifestyle we wish we had, or a certain body we wish we had, or a certain whatever climate we wished we lived in. But that's not our reality. And if it's not our reality and our wardrobes don't match our reality, then we're not going to have that positive experience when it goes to getting dressed in the morning, because what's in our wardrobes is not going to be what we need to wear that day. So it just creates a little bit of friction when we go to get dressed, because we're shopping for our fantasy self, but we're still dressing our actual current selves, and then they just don't gel together. So that was kind of off a little bit of a tangent, but that was kind of one of the reasons as well I wanted to do this, because I always find myself, whenever I wanted to improve myself, or boost my self-esteem, or trying to just like develop myself, I guess, be the best version of myself, I would find myself automatically being like, oh, I'm going to buy some new clothes because that's going to be what makes the difference. But ultimately, it wasn't. I was still me with different clothes, and I hadn't done the inner work. So taking a break from shopping helped me to do that inner work a little bit more. It helped me to realize that even if I don't have different clothes or new clothes, I'm still me. Nothing has changed in that respect. But actually, if I put the work in, I can change myself. Still wearing the same clothes, but I've become a new version of myself. I don't need clothes to express myself. I don't need clothes to kind of as a crutch to improve my life or anything like that. It of course is a bonus and it's a great self-development tool, but it's not the be all and end all. It's just one of the tools we can use. If you're enjoying this video so far, I would love for you to subscribe, because the more people I can have in this little corner of the internet, the more positive it feels that we're all trying to do a little bit better when it comes to our shopping habits. If you want to hear me speak more about like fashion as a personal development tool or fashion as a way to kind of shift your mindset, I'm going to pop this video up in the cards. You may or may not have seen it. It's from a few years ago, but it's mindset shifts to transform your style, and it's kind of speaks a little bit more about the psychology of style. And then if you want to see more videos like that, make sure to leave a comment and let me know, and I will make some. So moving forward with my shopping habits now, I said that I've kind of gotten out of the habit a little bit of shopping, and I'm sure if I allow myself, I would very easily get back into the habit of shopping, scrolling on Vinted every day, adding things to my basket, buying things, popping into shops and going out and just kind of impulse shopping. So what I really want to do now is to try something a little bit different. I tried this a few years ago when I first got into capsule wardrobes. And this was, I would set a capsule wardrobe for 3 months. As you can see, I've updated my wardrobe. If you kind of notice, it's tidy for a change. So I've updated this. This is my autumn and my winter wardrobe. So my plan is to not shop for the rest of autumn, which I guess could be like October. I'll say October, November. December is a bit of a grey area because it's Christmas and we're out shopping for other people and shopping for ourselves. And yeah, it's a nice time to add things to our wardrobes that are on our wish list if we can find them in the sales. Sales are great if you can save some money on things you would have bought full price and then you manage to find them in a sale. However, sales can be a little bit tricky when it starts to make us want to buy things we didn't originally want or wouldn't have originally paid full price for. And again, if you need a video on how to shop the sales a bit more mindfully, because I feel like sales are already hitting down now. It's like mid-season sales and it is too soon. Black Friday is going to be around the corner before we know it. If you need some help navigating the sales, I'll pop this video up here. This is from maybe Christmas 3 years ago, maybe. It's filmed in my old apartment, so yeah, maybe 3 years ago. But all valid points still. Going back to what I was speaking about though, for the next 2 months, for the season of autumn, I will not be shopping and adding new things to my wardrobe. And then as the end of the season comes around and we're transitioning into winter, I'll reassess my wardrobe. I'll see if there's any gaps in my wardrobe that maybe I need to add in for winter. Things like warmer layers or thermals, waterproof things like hats, scarves, things like that, because I know I need a new scarf. And I just want to do it that way instead of, again, shopping all the time. It's like I'm allowed to shop. I'm not going to be super strict with myself and say you cannot shop until the end of November. I'm not going to be super strict, but it's just kind of like a guideline for myself, just to help myself not go straight back into my old shopping habits. I just kind of want to have maybe a guideline in place, something that I can kind of remind myself about. And then when it comes into winter, I'm allowed to, like I said, pick up a few new winter bits. And then for like January, February, March, I might take a break and not shop again until we're starting to come into spring. Because as you see, my wardrobe's really full. It's probably the fullest it's been in so long. I've decided to put autumn and winter in at the same time because weather-wise it's a little bit tricky, and like one day it can be 19 degrees and the next day it's like 8 degrees. So I kind of need both seasons in the one place. And it also means I freed up some storage space like under my bed and where I used to store my clothes, which is great because I got more in my wardrobe. But also it means it's full, so it really cannot hold much more clothes. I have lots to work with for the next 2 seasons, but I might notice some things that I don't wear throughout autumn and then I don't feel like I'll wear throughout winter, and I'll take them back out and pop in some new bits. So like I said, this isn't going to be super strict, but of course I will document it. I'll probably do maybe like a wardrobe assessment and kind of show how I go about shopping now. So like I'm going to assess my wardrobe and I'm going to assess, is there any gaps, is there anything on my wish list, like what's the best way to find them, like do I wait for sales or do I just kind of find them secondhand, or how do I go about it? And it's a different kind of shopping habits kind of video, but I think if you enjoyed my no buy content, you should really enjoy this as well, because it's a lot less strict, and it's just a bit more. It's a very mindful way to shop, but it doesn't have the pressure of like you can't shop for a year, because I suppose it's almost like little no buys, like a little 3-month no buy periods. But like I said, not as strict as a no buy. If you have any suggestions or takeaways from my no buy year, if you've been following my journey, I'd love to hear your comments. And again, as always, please share your experience on how your no buy is going and where you're up to. Have you been doing a month? Have you done 3 months? Have you done a year? Have you done it in the past and it's kind of completely changed your shopping habits? I'd really like to know. I just love talking about this stuff. And I think the more people that I know are doing no buys, it just gives me a lot of hope for our consumerist society, that not everyone is kind of being taken over by so much advertising and so much sales and so much kind of pushing things on us that we feel like we need. If you're about to embark on a no buy, I'm going to leave my no buy playlist on the screen here from all my videos throughout 2023 and 2024 and my no buy year. There's also some videos in there of how to set yourself up for a success for no buy, which I will be updating soon based on my experience of like how I got on in my no buy, and then I'm going to kind of rewatch my old videos and update them and see if there's anything I would add now that I've actually done it. Of course, there is that caveat that I didn't do it 100%. So some may say that's not a successful no buy. I still feel like it is. I still feel like my shopping habits have changed since my mindset around shopping has changed. And that ultimately was the goal for me. I've worn my wardrobe so much more. I've really enjoyed my kind of having the same things on repeat, and I've really nailed my style uniforms and things like that throughout this year, because I've kind of tried to engage more with my clothes. So that's been really successful. I know this is a bit of a rambly video, but I hope it's been helpful. Hope it's motivational or inspirational or whatever it is that you need today. I hope it is that for you. Drop me a comment, like I said, if you have any more questions. I'm always happy to answer them, and I will see you very soon in my next one.